spent asleep in the past few days. She rose from her chair, straightening her black petticoats. She never felt entirely at ease with Angus, for all his civility, and she felt even less so with him intoxicated. She should go check on Elizabeth. There were so many men in the castle, and Christina trusted none of them. Nor did she trust her sister's ability to control her sharp tongue. "I am tired," she answered, "but well enough." He nodded at the various papers scattered over the desk. "It is quite a load to take on, is it not?" She glanced at them and managed a smile. "Yes, it is. I imagine it will take some time to understand it all." He unfolded the papers in his hands. "I have a few more things for you to sign. Tallaght left them with me after the burial." Christina suppressed a sigh and sat back down. She must have signed 100 papers since Gordon's abrupt illness and passing. He set a few sheets in front of her. Just a few more formalities associated with the funeral. That is all. She gave a passing glance at the top of the first paper. Yet another document from Gordon's man of business. He peered over her shoulder at the cup of tea. "Can I get you more tea? There's some in the drawing room I could fetch." "Thank you, but no," she said, dipping her quill and scratching her signature across the bottom of the sheet. "Ah," he said with a crooked smile. "I had forgotten Gordon told me you were particular about your tea." She gave a perfunctory smile, then blew on the ink and moved that page aside. Angus moved to stand behind her, setting a hand on the back of the chair. Whether it was a possessive stance or merely one to stabilize himself, she couldn't be sure, but it made her uncomfortable. "I could help you, you know," he said. "With the estate, I mean. As I said, it is a lot to manage. A man's job. All these papers and signatures are only the beginning, I'm afraid. You will be managing tax, bills with tradesmen, salaries for servants, disputes among the tenants." "Yes, I understand," she said, trying to conceal the testiness she felt. She hardly needed the reminder of what she was taking on as the heir of Dunverlochy. Gordon hadn't involved her in any of the estate matters. In many ways, laying the burden on Angus's shoulders was tempting, but only for a moment. He made her uneasy. The entirety of the MacKinnon clan did, including her late husband, and she hardly wished to surrender any of her power or freedom now that she finally had some. "You needn't worry yourself on my account," she said. "You have plenty to occupy you with matters at Benleith." "Oh, things are well enough in hand there. I may have to venture there now and again for short visits, but I assure you I shall not leave you here to fend for yourself. I will stay until things are in order." She glanced up at him. He was smiling, but she couldn't help feeling there had been a hint of threat in his words. Did he worry she would make a bungle of things at Dunverlochy? That she was putting something in jeopardy he had a chance at ownership in? If she died now, Dunverlochy would go to Angus. She signed the last paper and rubbed her temples, feeling the beginnings of a headache coming on. Angus gathered the papers together, and Christina rose, hoping to end this interaction and go in search of her sister, Elizabeth. Angus didn't move, though, from his spot behind her chair, and she tried to shift away from him. He stopped fiddling with the papers and looked at her as intently as his unfocused, bloodshot eyes would allow. "Let me help you, Christina." He came so near she had to blink away his pungent breath. "I could do more than just manage the estate for you, you know." He put a hand to her waist.